5% mathematics with the teachings of Buddha? Because I know sometimes, you know, like within ourselves we have a sense of chaos, and it seems like, you know, 5%, some tenets of 5% may not mix well with the Bodhisattva. So I wonder how did you see this and combine them?
Well, one thing in mathematics, first of all, mathematics is, when you have mathematics, you can calculate anything. You know what I mean? Because it's the language of God. You can calculate anything with mathematics, no matter where it comes from. But also in the lessons of the 5%, or the lessons of the nation, it says, how old, you know, what does it say, birth record of the nation of Islam? It said Islam has no birth record, it's older than sun, moon, and stars. And it said, what's the birth record of Christianity and Buddhism, basically? And it tells you that Buddhism has a birth record and Christianity has a birth record. But when I learned that, I started researching Buddhism itself. And I come to find that Buddhism is actually 35,000 years old. But Siddhartha Gautama, the one who's recognized as the modern-day Buddha, is only 3,500 years old. So therefore, Buddhism must have been around for 2 Qurans now, because every Quran is 25,000 years. So by researching that, I started going and saying, well, what do Buddha mean? Buddha means the awakened one, or the enlightened one. And his teachings was peace. So therefore, he's teaching the same thing. It's just the people who learn the traditions, they put traditions on it. You look at Buddha, right? You'll see they got a picture of a laughing Buddha, a skinny Buddha, fat Buddha, I mean, crying Buddha. These are all different ways that men, we do. That's why Buddha said, this body is a Buddha. That's what he said. He said, your body, that's the Buddha. Because whether you have to cry to enlightenment, drink alcohol to enlightenment, any way you got to search for enlightenment, you're going to go through that process. Now the side effect is, if you do drink to enlightenment, that's going to damage your liver, right? Sure. So your enlightenment will be short-lived. Right. If you fast and pray to enlightenment, you can get your 50, 60, 70 years like Moses with enlightenment, you know what I mean?
And it seems that all the 7 pillars of wisdom and everything inside how you are there for improvement and self-development oneself. How
Right.
can we use the teachings and lessons in the book to improve our families, our communities, our society?
Well, the first thing you must save is yourself. Once you save yourself, you can save others. If you don't save yourself, how can you save anybody else? Let's use Buddha. I love using Buddha because he's a great example of life for me, yo. Because he started off rich, you know what I mean, a prince. And they say, according to the story, that the day his wife gave birth to his son, he left. He left his wife and his kid, I'm gone, to find himself, because he was useless to them unless he knew who his self was. And once he found himself and came back, they said his wife and his son became his #1 students. They became Earharts immediately. You know what I mean? So by having knowledge of yourself and by finding yourself, you're going to help your family. You know, inside my book, I'm not saying my book is going to bring you enlightenment like that, but my book is experiences I've been through that you know, some of us want to go through it. Some of us don't have to go through it based on our living conditions, based on our status quo. But it's going to be something in here I'm quite sure we all can relate to. And that's why I put it into a book, and that's why I put different parables like, yo, some of us, they never got to worry about food, clothing, and shelter. Some of us do. For each problem or penalty or any pressure I went through, I try to give a description of it and then show you the moral of it, the truth I gained out of it. I mean, to be sitting somewhere, you know, going up in Marcus Garvey projects and to see shit float by you, yo. You know what I mean? I'm literally with a shit floats, you know what I mean, right by you. But to see that to take that as a lesson, it is a lesson for me, because it's something that I could tell my children, they can see the difference of just one generation of our family. Just one generation, you can say, well, look, last generation, we was welfare babies. This generation, we have a backyard and a better chance. Last generation, nobody graduated from school, and nobody even had a 10th grade education. This generation, the education is in my family. My children are smart. They took tests, and they had 10th grade levels in 7th grade. I mean, so we change the times, you know what I mean? And we take our life experiences, you know, I'm taking my life experiences to maybe help another person, help another brother or sister, like, yo, you know what? You don't have to touch that stove and burn your hand, yo. I already touched it for you. It's hot.